Smack her on the rear once more. To think the Saint Virgin could be such a troublesome woman. She stood upon the cliff's high crest. Close to the sea are people blessed. Bedroom unlocked. You know, if we go there, it's going to go down.
Yeah, I goon too.
I do not believe Vlissing to be the villain the rumors made her out to be. Still, to leave her arrogance unchecked will serve neither her nor the people of Tranel. This is what I mean about the protagonist in this game, the human god, being a cool, masculine leader. There's a proposal I'd like you to accept. If it's my will, the Saint Virgin can do little but listen. You can refuse if you wish, but if you cannot see it through, then you step down from the vanguard. Yep, that's right. What I set forth was simple. 2 weeks of life as an ordinary vanguard. Oh, she can't believe it. To live without attendance for the Saint Virgin, such a thing is utterly unthinkable, she said. Oh, so you're giving up? Oh, she's taking that as an insult. She's going to endure the trial and do so without suffering an ounce of her dignity. And so our 2-week wager began. Can she handle it? Action level up. After witnessing the small commotion stirred up by Vlissing and the Tranel, I set a light-hearted wager with her. Of course, I have no real intention of dismissing her from the vanguard over this, but it remains to be seen whether Vlissing can overcome this modest trial laid before her. Level up. It's not about you right now, Karabi. Through Miss Vlissing, we've been able to engage with what was once one of the most closed-off communities. My pleasure. It's for the public good. But Vlissing does need to adapt. Her vanguard stipend was already spent yesterday? What? Most went to donations. Whenever she encountered citizens hurt during her duty, she handed out aid with all the pride in the world. She's a bit of a tsundere? This sounds like Vlissing. She'll have no choice but to use bureau facilities, including the Vanguard cafeteria. Before she could dart away again, I took her lightly by the arm and steered her toward the serving line. What is the meaning of this? To drag the Saint Virgin of Tranel in such a fashion? Keep fussing, and I really will leave you behind. Whether it was because I spoken plainly to her at last, or because she realized I'd come back for her, I could not say. But Vlissing quietly took up a tray and followed my instructions to collect a late lunch. She says it's good, and it's still warm too. What was it? I finished my meal quietly with Vlissing before me and departed without another word. No, massages are my thing. It's truly my wish she'll present herself. Okay, when will you come? Immediately. Exit the chatting app. Action level up, level 3. You helped Vlissing make use of the Bureau's cafeteria today. It was a trivial matter, yet behind her proud facade, she could not help but reveal a hint of genuine gratitude. The time together may be brief, but if you continue to guide her step by step in adapting to this world, your bond with Vlissing may yet grow into something deeper. Side room unlocked. So she's a spoiled old version. The Tranel people worship Vlissing because it's their own choice? Correct. It is true she enjoyed certain luxuries, but I have heard that even before crossing the Rift, Miss Vlissing was regarded as something of an idol among them. An idol of Tranel. Indeed, there are even families who claim that for 3 generations, Miss Vlissing has been their very first love? I see, so the grandfather's first love becomes the son's first love as well? Are there generational beauties like that where the grandfather, the father, and the... I guess that makes sense if the grandfather, the father, and the son think that she's attractive? For a while, I listened as Fammene spoke on Tranel's past. Since time immemorial, the Flow Guardians of Tranel were revered as protectors of sailors. Among them, Vlissing was the greatest flowmancer their history had ever known. Over a century, she had defended her people, blessed with the sea's ageless gift. She had become the very embodiment of hope, the maiden of everlasting sea. But with the Rift crisis, everything changed. During the crossing to Neo Sol, the loss of nearly all of Tranel's leaders was devastating. In the absence of leadership, someone had to bind the fragments of a crumbling people and carry them safely to Earth. And that someone was none other than Vlissing. Vlissing, the Saint Virgin of Tranel, was never merely an idol to her people. She was their true hope in the darkest of hours. And yet, life on Earth was destined to be a different story entirely. At last, Miss Vlissing may be able to lay down that burden and devote herself wholly to her service as a vanguard. Yet even now with Tranel, there are whispers that I may truly be the god of wisdom. Word. What's it mean to taking her leave? The hour came for my promised meeting with Vlissing. Well then, what do I say? The Saint Virgin has kept her word without fail. Mad respect. Would I judge the trial complete? She wore a proud smile, yet the signs of weariness lingered upon her. There's no need for such extravagant praise. I mean it. Through these weeks, Vlissing never once complained. She bore it all with grace. Thank you. for standing by me as my vanguard. My words must have caught her off guard. She couldn't handle the Riz. For all her poise, tears welled at the corners of her eyes, as if she had only just allowed herself to feel the weight of it. Had I left her, she surely would have broken down, weeping like a child. So I drew her close into my arms. Wholesome time with the Virgin, holding hands. So what was the hardest part? Truly, the cruelty you endured is beyond all measure? Sorry to hear that. And furthermore. And so I simply held her, listening as her laments spewed out one after another. She wept so earnestly that I found myself patting even her backside, as though soothing a child rather than the regal figure she appeared to be. Alas, after a long while she grew quiet, pulling away with a flustered, embarrassed air. I drew her close once more, gently patting her as before, lest the Tranel people notice her disarray. I told her I would see warm water prepared, so she might take her leave with a soothing bath. Affection level up, level 4. Vlissing kept to my challenge, my little wager. With earnest resolve, enduring those 2 weeks on her own, though it unexpectedly brought benefit to the Tranel community, what pleased me more was seeing her heart begin to open. If things continue along this path, it may not be long before Vlissing becomes mine in full. The Tale of the Saint Virgin. It is a prose poem, a story of the Saint Virgin who devoted her life to Tranel. Maiden never chose her fate, but bore the scene's old gift innate. From birth the ocean's blessing deep, its hidden currents hers to keep. She lived to guard, to save, to stand, and steer salvation to her land. Through countless voyages brave and free, she rose the saint beloved of the sea. Through nights gave way to dawn again. The saint stood firm through joy and pain, a flower blooming by the shore, where radiance kings and princes swore. That steadfast stayed her noble heart, no suitor's plea could make it part. She stood upon the cliff's high crest, close to the sea, our people blessed. Yeah. At last they held her proud and grand, the mistress of the current's hand. In streams of life her glory shone, Tranel's true pride forever known. O glory of Tranel, ocean's bride, pure in the current forever to bide. Eternal her beauty through ages untold, her tale in the waters forever enrolled. Beyond that point, nearly 30 full lines are devoted solely to extolling Lady Vlissing's bosom. 30 lines? Wow. Would I like you to continue? If you begin again, perhaps you could recite it more faithfully. I assured her that that would not be necessary. What mattered more was this. Are you good? She is not. She turned her face away, refusing my eyes. Still cloaked in pride, every line of her bearing unyielding. Had this been our first meeting, I would never have believed the tales those two shared with me tonight. Have you ever watched a young girl fall in love for the first time? Are you afraid that I might not truly care for you? You're not blind. You know that I got hoes calling. And yet, I'm not simply trifling with you, am I? Or of late, as I thought, Vlissing was every bit the woman I had imagined. Give me a 360 real quick. She blinked in confusion, but slowly turned her back to me. Smack her rear. What in Noctis Nebula is the meaning of this? She jolted, her whole body stiff with shock. I closed the distance and drew her firmly into my arms from behind. I treated her like a woman. She can't handle the Riz. Softly, I scolded her, calling her nothing but a big foolish girl for making me worry so. This is utterly disgraceful. She thrashed weakly in protest, but I only tightened my hug. Soon her resistance ebbed away, her body going quiet against mine. And then I spoke from the heart. that I truly cherish her, so don't go around making me worry for nothing. Is that truly so? I'm keeping it 100 right now. That you truly hold this Vlissing dear? Of course. What's wrong? As your vanguard? Oh, she wants to be more than a vanguard, or as a woman? Smack her on the rear once more. To think the Saint Virgin could be such a troublesome woman. As the woman I love, you even got out here loving them all. If that's not answered, then you shall permit it. Word. Truly ridiculous. If anyone Tranel were to see her sulking so, the proud Saint Virgin dragged along at my side, she would die of embarrassment. And yet, I could not help but smile, leading her toward my chambers. Wait a second. If I let her be, she would pout for days, tormenting herself in silence. So tonight, upon the bed, I want to scold her properly and hold her close until her heart quieted. She may be older, proud, and endlessly troublesome, but she is mine all the same. From here on, the two of us will walk forward into something deeper, into something new. Let me get this right. The human god took the Saint Virgin's. Congratulations. Though it was quite the bumpy road, Vlissing has entrusted herself to you completely, body and heart. Just as you suspected, or perhaps even more purely than you imagined, she will of course continue to grumble and huff as only she can. Yet from this day onward, she shall remain forever at my side as my steadfast vanguard and as my woman to spend the rest of her days with me. Bedroom unlocked. You know, if we go there, it's going to go down. But that's so amazing to me because she can no longer be the Saint Virgin. Also, isn't she? That's fascinating. She's like 200-year-old virgin, bro. Wow.
자기도 일하기 싫어요? 그럼 바깥으로 나갈까요?
Let's bring her out and see what her max level of affection looks like.
이 블리싱은 결정하는 게 더 익숙합니다만 너 그렇게 막무가내로 머리를 좋을 리가 없지 않습니까? 또 아기도 아니면서 나중에 우리 아기를 위해 적당히 하십시오.
That line is that line is interesting.
이 블리싱이 이렇게 마음이 약한 사람일 줄이야.
Wow, her voice is very attractive. We got her signature weapon too. Let me read that real quick. Atrahasis reduces AP cost of basic attack by 16%. When targeting an ally with a skill, increases their all defense by 160 for 1 round. Cool, they upgraded the text to actually say 1 round. I noticed there's been a lot of quality of life updates recently in the latest patch. When targeting an enemy with a skill, reduces their all defense by 360 for 2 rounds. Vlissing's signature Sacred Flow on effect. So this is the skill, the passive skill she gets for having her signature weapon. During combat, max HP plus 8% and additional damage boost plus 36% changes Sharp Wave to a directional attack. Nice. Nice. On hit, enemies have a chance equal to your current additional damage boost to gain 1 stack of Tangled Flow. With hitting an enemy that already has Tangled Flow, with an active skill deals additional slash damage equal to 120% of magic attack. Nice. At the start of each round, allies with Clean Flow gain plus 18% all attack for 1 round. Nice buffs to herself and the team. Word.